Okay, so let us restart. So we have just seen that we have this relation. We have this relation. So let us wait so that all people could join. Let us wait for few minutes. So okay, we had this equation. We have just seen that we have this equation. G1 F1 X F1 plus G2 F2 X F2 plus so on plus Gn Gn Fn X Fn equal to 1. So call this equation star, where gi I equal to where gi I equal to 1 to so on n, they belong to this f x f. Now rename this. So for I running from 1 to so on n, let xfi equal xi, and let, because these gi's, they are polynomials, they are polynomials in several variables, so it is possible that there are more number of variables appearing in these polynomials gi's other than these n number of. So they could be more than, they could be polynomials in more than n variables. So I call those remaining variables and let x n plus 1 so on xm be the remaining variables, be the remaining variables, remaining variables occurring in these polynomials gi, occurring in in the polynomials, in the polynomials gi, or you can say gj for j running from 1 to so on n. So therefore the relation star reduces to, the relation star now becomes, with our new notation, it becomes now g1 x1 x2 so on xm f1 x1 plus so on plus g1 x1 x2 so on xm fn xn equal to 1. Okay, say this equation is double star. Now these polynomials, these polynomials by our previous theorem, f1 x1 is a polynomial in x1 and so on up to fn xn. So we know that by our previous knowledge, and these are polynomials over f. So there exists an extension field containing a root of this polynomial and so on up to this. There are extension fields which are containing the roots of these polynomials f1 so on up to fn. So let f dash be a finite extension of f, be a finite extension of f containing a root alpha I of fi xi for I running from 1 to so on up to n. So letting xi equal to alpha I running from 1 to n, and xn plus 1 so on xm equal to 0 in this equation double star. So alpha 1 is a root of f1, so f1 alpha 1 would be 0, so on fn alpha n is 0. So then this double star equation would imply that what happens? We get that 0 equal to 1 in f dash, which is not possible as this is a field, which is impossible, which is impossible. So this means our assumption is true. I is a proper ideal. So thus I is a proper ideal. Once I is a proper ideal, so it is contained in a maximal ideal. And so we know that every proper ideal in a ring is contained in a maximal ideal by Zorn's lemma. And so contained in a maximal ideal, in a maximal ideal by Zorn's lemma. Say that maximal ideal is M. Say M. So M is a maximal ideal in the ring, this one, F so on XF so on. So therefore if I quotient this ring by M, it would be a field. So then the quotient ring, K1 say, which is F so on XF modulo M is a field, and it contains F, containing F, it contains F, in fact an isomorphic copy of F, This is by fundamental theorem of fields, okay. Containing an isomorphic copy of F in which this polynomial fx has a root. Okay, so I have to just complete the statement, in which this polynomial f, which is fx, has a root. And what is the root? Root is nothing but the image of this the image of this variable xf, because as this xf belongs to this f of xf belongs to I, and I is contained in M, so it would become 0. So f of xf would become 0 in this quotient f xf modulo M. Okay. Now, what do I do here? I am able to find. So we have constructed a field K1 containing f in which in which each polynomial each polynomial our f has a root. Our f has a root. Okay. Now you can perform the same process for K1 which you have performed for f so far. So performing the same process for K1, you would get a field extension of K1 in which every polynomial in K1, our K1 has a root. Now performing the same process for K1 instead of f gives a field K2 containing K1 in which all polynomials uh, in which all polynomials our K1 have a root. Now continuing in this fashion, we obtain a sequence of fields. Now continuing in this fashion, we obtain a sequence of fields. We get a sequence of fields like this, f which is K0 contained in K1, contained in K2, contained in so on, contained in Kj, contained in Kj plus 1, contained in so on, where every polynomial with coefficients in Kj has a root in Kj plus 1, where every polynomial with a root every polynomial with coefficients in Kj has a root in Kj plus 1. J runs from 0 to n, of course. J runs from 0 to n and so on, not up to n, so on. Now let K be the union of all these fields. Union J greater than or equal to 0 Kj. Be the union of all these fields. Be the union of all these fields. So union of these fields is a field because we have each one contained in the other one. Then K is a field. And of course K contains F because each field in the union contains F. Now this k is the required field. Now whatever polynomial you will choose in k, it will have a root in k. This is quite obvious now. Now since k is the union of all these fields, now let hx be any polynomial with coefficients in k. Let hx belongs to kx. Okay. So this means what? Be any polynomial. Now whatever number of variables appear in this hx, the coefficients of this polynomial hx would lie in some field here in the sequence, would lie in kn by choosing sufficient large value of n. So the coefficients of, since the coefficients lie in kx, the coefficients lie in k, they will lie in one of these by choosing sufficient large index. The coefficients of hx lie in kn for sufficiently large n, for sufficiently large n. But by our hypothesis, this polynomial hx would then have a root in kn plus 1. But then hx has a root in kn plus 1, and kn plus 1 is contained in k, and so has a root in k, and so has a root in k. So this means what? This means k is algebraically closed. Thus k is algebraically closed field containing f. So we got this field k. So given any field f, you can get a field k which is algebraically closed and contains the field f. I hope the proof is clear to you. There is no ambiguity left in the proof. Yes? Your response, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for any field f, there exists an algebraically closed field k containing the field f. And one more thing that I want to tell you is for algebraic closures. So a small proposition let k be an algebraically closed field. Let k be an algebraically closed field, and let f be a subfield of k, and let f be a subfield of k, then the collection of elements, then the collection of elements f bar of k that are algebraic over f. So of course this f bar would be a subfield of k that are algebraic over f is an algebraic closure of f, is an algebraic closure of दिस इज वेरी नाइस प्रोपोजिशन, क्योंकि आपने अभी देख लिया कि अगर आपके पास कोई भी फील्ड है के एफ, तो कोई भी उसके लिए अलजेब्राइकली क्लोज्ड फील्ड हमेशा एग्जिस्ट करेगी जो कि इसको कंटेन करेगी एफ को। तो लेट के बी एन अलजेब्राइकली क्लोज्ड फील्ड एंड लेट एफ बी सब फील्ड ऑफ के। देन तो अब अलजेब्राइक क्लोजर क्या होगा इसका, इस एफ का? सिंपली यू टेक द सेट ऑफ अलजेब्राइक एलिमेंट्स ऑफ set of elements of K, collection of elements of K, which are algebraic over F. Okay, and of course, algebraic closure of a field is unique up to isomorphism. We will prove later on. Algebraic closure of a field is unique up to isomorphism. This actually follows from the fact that the splitting field of a polynomial is unique up to isomorphism. So we will prove it later on. Just add this within the part of the statement of this proposition. Okay, so now f bar is the set of elements which are algebraic over f. So we will see that f bar is algebraic closure of f. तो algebraic closure कब होगा f bar? f का by definition algebraic closure होगा अगर so we have seen in the definition that the field f bar is called algebraic closure of f if f bar is algebraic over f. पहले तो f bar algebraic over f होना चाहिए, and every polynomial with coefficients in f splits completely over f bar. Okay, so we have to see only the second part. f bar तो algebraic over f है ही, क्योंकि it is chosen as the set of elements of k which are algebraic over f. So only the second part has to be seen. So by definition or by our assumption, by definition f bar is an algebraic extension of f. Extension of f. Now K is chosen as the algebraically closed field containing f. So it means what? Every polynomial fx in fx splits completely into linear factors, splits into linear factors our k because k is algebraically closed field containing f. Okay, so this means what? Once it splits into linear factors over k, so this means say the factors are of the form, say of the form x minus alpha. Okay, but so this means what? This means alpha is a root of fx. Alpha is a root of fx. So this means what? In particular, it shows that alpha is algebraic over f. Alpha is algebraic over f. Is algebraic over f. So this means alpha is an element of f bar. Alpha is an element of f bar. Okay. So this means what? This means all the linear factors. So this implies all the linear factors, because linear factors, they are of the form x minus alpha, and alpha is in f bar. So this means all the linear factors have coefficients in f bar. Coefficients in f bar. So what does it mean? It means that every polynomial with coefficients in f splits completely in f bar x. So this means fx splits completely in f bar x. So what does it mean? It means that f bar is an algebraic closure of f. So this means f bar is an algebraic closure of f. So now you have a simpler description of an algebraic closure of a field. It is the set of elements of the algebraically closed field containing f, which are algebraic over f. Not simpler, but you can say an alternate description for an algebraic closure of a field. But as a consequence of this proposition, we get a very, you will call it well-known corollary. What is that? The field C of complex numbers, the field C contains an algebraic closure, contains an algebraic closure of any of its subfields, of any of its subfields. In particular, the collection of complex numbers algebraic over Q, in particular Q bar, the collection of complex numbers algebraic over Q is an algebraic closure of Q, is an algebraic closure of Q. क्योंकि फील्ड हमारी जो है कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स की algebraically closed है ना? The field of complex numbers is algebraically closed because of the fundamental theorem of algebra. So the above proposition can be applied to this field C. So it contains algebraic closure of any of its subfields, and in particular, if you want to know the algebraic closure of the field of rational numbers, it is nothing but the collection of complex numbers which are algebraic over Q. Okay, is it clear? So yes.
Yes, sir.
So I think I will stop this lecture here. If you have questions, then you can put, and then we will stop. Please ask the questions. Yes, questions from the students. आप पूछो, फैजल.
No, sir, I have no question.
And the student, क्या नाम है इसका, यासिर. Anybody else?
So no questions.
So then I will stop this and see you in the next class. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so there are some students who are asking messages, so I may be uh, I will- so okay, see you.